I'm Paula Williams with ABCI, and today we're talking about Instagram. Does Instagram marketing work for aviation? And the answer is it does, but under certain circumstances. And you probably also don't want to make it one of your primary methods of advertising. So we'll talk about the ins and outs as we go through this. So a lot of people have this impression of Instagram that it's kind of trivial and it's very surface, very superficial, that people just post pictures of what they're eating and pictures of celebrities and other things and selfies on Instagram, and that's really all that it amounts to. But it actually is very useful for three things, and I'll tell you what those things are. Number one is you can maximize your bio on Instagram, and it makes a really nice backlink to your other media and also to your search engine optimization efforts. You can use Instagram to show off your people, and you can use Instagram to show off your products or the results of your products. Since it's such a visual medium, it's really a good way to reach the right folks if you're in certain parts of the aviation industry. So Instagram has grown quite a bit. It does not have near the numbers of a Facebook or a LinkedIn, but it certainly is something that is worth doing maybe as a second or third or further down the line means of social media. If you're already creating visual content, it doesn't take much incremental effort to also publish it on Instagram. This is Instagram users by age group. So what we take from this is that if you are a flight school, this is a great market for you. If you sell an aircraft that is maybe popular with young executives, younger folks, or if you're selling entry charter services, jet cards, things like that, this is a little closer to your market than it is for B2B traditional aviation marketing, where our decision makers are in the 45 and up range. There's still a lot of people there, so, definitely worth it as a second or third consideration, right? Okay, so let's talk about those things that we mentioned. First, maximizing your bio. A lot of people want to take up space on the social media, and this is not a bad strategy to just grab your name and put a bio out there and lead it somewhere else. So you can grab your name, whatever it is, maybe the same as your Twitter handle if you want to do that, so that it's easy for people to find, and put a really descriptive paragraph in here. You get 150 characters, so not a lot, a couple of short sentences or something like that that explains very concisely who you are and what you do and who you help. You can also put a nice SEO backlink in there to your website or to your primary social media. If you do most of your work via LinkedIn, you can link to your LinkedIn profile. Usually you'll want to use your website though, because this is a benefit of search engine optimization. If you have a backlink from a credible site like Instagram, why not use that opportunity, right? Okay, so it takes maybe half an hour to set up an Instagram account, take up space at your name, put in a thought out summary and a nice backlink. So I'd recommend that just about everybody do that. Now, if you want to put in a little bit more work, you can make it even better than that. I think Runway Girl has a really fantastic brand that she extends really nicely onto Instagram, and it's so visual that it extends really well here. She also has a great verbal summary here, where air transport intelligence meets the passenger experience. And she also has a hashtag PaxX. That's another thing about Instagram, is that it's really good at hashtags, probably second only to Twitter as a way of doing hashtag marketing, which we talk about in a different blog post. All right, so this is Signature Air Support, Signature FBO. They use this nice Polaroid frame at an event to entice people to brand themselves with Signature's name. This is always a fun way to do contests and to create a lot of visual information, especially about people. People love learning about other people. They love smiling pictures. That's one of the things that tests best. You'll notice as you're walking in the grocery store past the checkouts, all of the magazine covers have smiling faces on them, or at least most of them do, because that's one of the very most impactful advertising methods we have, are smiling human faces. Here's one with a lot of smiling human faces. They did a really nice crowd shot here. So Signature did a great job on that. Aircraft Maintenance has a huge number of followers. So if you think that Instagram is just for teenage girls, Not so. There's a lot of folks that are very visual, including aircraft maintenance people, that love to see rather than read. And they'll love to see these images with explainers of, here's what this is and this is what it does. They even put questions on here. What is this thing? That really incites people to click on that photo just to find out. They also do a nice job of capitalizing on the news, things that have happened lately, and their take on it and their explanations. So that's how they've built that huge following, is by being incredibly visual. So if you're really good at visual, Instagram might be a great channel for you to extend your reach. Another thing that you can do, even if you can't show off your product or service in explainers or in product demos very well, you can do charts and graphs. Those are a great way to show data. I mean, you can talk about numbers all day and you can have dry reports with a ton of statistics in them. But when people see a very simple image with data in it in the form of a chart or a graph, they're very likely to want to learn more because that incites that curiosity. So great job by Pilot Partner on that. You can also use maps, since we're in the business of travel, show people where they are versus where they could be. That kind of helps people place themselves in space. A lot of us think geographically in terms of a visual mode or in terms of a map. Aviation people are just naturally map readers. So we like to use lots of maps in our Instagram feed. Once again, here's a chart or a graph showing here's a cause and effect. Here's a result of an action that happened. August 2017, we redid a website. And then you can see the impact after that effect. So doing before and after combined with a chart is a nice way to show visual, even for things like a website refresh where we really can't necessarily be as visual as we'd like. And testimonials are always nice to have a visual, either a person's face, a before and after photo, or a chart or a graph. Here's a chart from Great Circle Aircraft. The number of aircraft available for sale on the market in 2017 went down pretty dramatically. Now, a lot of people have been reading news about that, but seeing a chart like this really puts it in perspective and makes you understand just how big of an impact that was, first quarter over third quarter. So it's kind of nice to see that in a visual form. So once again, you want to use those visual modes as much as you can. And humor. I didn't include this in our top 3, and it shouldn't go without saying because, a lot of people don't think in terms of humor, but this was a photograph that I took at the Hella Expo in the gift shop. I took a photograph, and it isn't even a very good photograph, but it performed incredibly well on our Instagram feed because it is so funny. And whenever you can take a picture that is funny, you really want to do that because it's an opportunity that beats just about everything else. People share and like the heck out of this one. So our take on Instagram at this point is that you don't want to really put a whole lot of time and energy into it because of the demographics and because of the numbers and because there are better ways for you to be spending your time. The best ways to do aviation marketing, depending on your market, are often still the traditional ways. The trade shows, the magazines, the direct mail. Social media is definitely worth it for some folks, but you want to stick with the ones that have the higher numbers for your particular demographic. So for a lot of folks, that is Facebook or LinkedIn. Instagram is often a really good second or third channel. So if you love Instagram, by all means do it. If you don't love Instagram, you can bypass this pretty easily without guilt, or you can automate or outsource Instagram, or once again, just do that profile, maximize your bio and leave it there. You also want to use that if you can to show off your people and show off your products. So those are some ways that you can maximize your use of Instagram to extend your reach for aviation marketing. If you have other questions or if you want to talk in detail about your specific market and objectives that you're trying to reach, we'd be happy to do that. There is a gold Let's Talk button in the lower left-hand corner of our website. You can click that and select any 30 minutes that's open on our calendar, and we love to sit down with you and have that conversation. So thanks for joining us, and have a great day.